Thought experiments, aka ideas that will give your brain an aneurysm by thinking too hard of them. What are thought experiments? Thought experiments are essentially concepts that make you think about them and their consequences. And today we're going to be going over some of them to give out a general idea of what a thought experiment is. Now, a very famous one is the trolley problem, which is one that a lot of people mention. Essentially, it's like this. Imagine there are two train tracks and a trolley is heading towards them. On one train track, there is one person there lying on the train track, and on the other one, there are 5 people there. There is a lever connecting to the train tracks. The trolley is about to go to the train track with 5 people. Now, it just so happens that you are standing next to the lever. Do you pull the lever, divert the train tracks, and make it kill one person, but you have the fault of killing that one person? Or do you let the train run over the 5 people, but you don't have the fault of killing the people? That is a very famous thought experiment that has been debated over and over again, especially nowadays, since we now have, self-driving cars that have to make these decisions and not just some, doodles on a chalkboard and a class discussion about them. And that's essentially what thought experiments are. They are questions and ideas that make you think about them. And there's a lot of crazy ones, so let's go over them. Schrodinger's cat goes like this. There's this box, and in the box there's a cat. Next to the cat, there is a vial of poison that is connected to a hammer that is connected to a subatomic particle. If the subatomic particle decays, the hammer will smash the glass, the poison will be released into the box, and the cat will die. If the poison doesn't decay, the cat will live. The glass will not be smashed. Now, a subatomic particle has a 50-50% chance of decaying. Now, we're outside of this box right now. We do not know if the cat is dead or alive until we open the box. Now, what's the answer to this? Is the cat dead or alive? Well, it turns out it's both. The cat is both dead and or alive until we open the box and we check. The cat is both dead or alive because it is in a state of superposition. This thought experiment applies a lot in the realms of quantum physics because quantum physics are strange. We can't tell the certain states of certain particles until we look at them or not, until we observe them or not. This thought experiment is essentially a way of visualizing quantum mechanics. Yeah, don't get into quantum mechanics. That shit's that shit's fucking gonna make your mind explode. There's this guy named Theseus. He has a ship. Now, let's say one of the planks starts to rot away and he replaces it. Is it still his ship? Well, yeah, duh, obviously. Like, replacing one damn plank ain't gonna change a whole ship. But let's say he replaces 2 planks. What about 3? What about 4, 5? Let's say he replaces the entire bottom half of the ship. What if he replaces the whole thing? When does Theseus's ship stop being his ship? Is it still his ship after he's replaced all of the planks? Let's say Theseus uses the planks from the leftover ship to build a second ship. Are they still the same ship? Theseus's ship doesn't necessarily have an answer, but it is a cool idea nonetheless. The thought concept of Theseus's ship can also be applied to your body. The human body replaces every single cell in it every 7 years. Does that mean after 7 years, are you still really the same person? Or are you something completely different? What if we're not real? What if all of our senses are fake and we're just brains inside of a vat. Brains inside of a vat that are hooked up to complex machines that simulate real life to make us think like we're actually in real life, but we're actually not, because it's just a simulation. But what if the brain in a vat is also a brain in a vat of its own, and it's being simulated by another brain in the vat? What if that brain in the vat is being simulated by another one? Is there just an infinite amount of brains in a vat? Is this some sort of brainception? In our brain, we have billions of neurons that send signals to one another, and this, in turn, forms our consciousness. Now, this thought experiment goes like this. What if we were to grab the entire population of China and make them send signals through each other through walkie-talkies? Would it form a brain of some sorts? Would it form some sort of consciousness? Or would it not do anything? When a tree falls over and no one is there to hear it, does it make a sound? No, like, genuinely, does it make a sound? Like, okay, yeah, it does, but no one's there to hear it. So, does it actually? Maybe the people who are in charge of the simulation made it so that certain objects render in when you're around them. Maybe they don't want to go overboard with the file size of the simulation. So, to make things easier, essentially what they do is that they make it so that only certain objects will render when you're near them. So maybe the tree doesn't make a sound. Maybe it only makes a sound when you're near it. Or maybe this idea of even making a sound doesn't make sense, because for a tree to make a sound, you have to be there to listen to it. And the idea of sound is something that we have come up with and processed in our brains. So maybe it doesn't even make a sound. We're just there to pick it up and our brains do the magic. Let's say that there are two boxes. Box 1 has $1,000 and box 2 either has no money or $1 million. Now, the two options are you either pick both boxes or you only pick box 2. Now, the catch to this thought experiment goes like this. There's this super AI that can predict with 100% accuracy what you will pick. If the AI correctly predicts that you open both boxes, you'll get $1,000 from box 1 and $0 from box 2. If the AI correctly predicts that you will open box 2, you will get $1 million. Now, people argue that you should open box 2 because it has the $1 million in it. But since the AI has already made the prediction and has already decided whether box 2 should have no money or the $1 million, what people would argue is that you should pick both boxes to maximize your rewards, aka to get $1 million plus the $1,000 in box 1. But here's the interesting part of this thought experiment. If the AI has a 100% track record predicting correctly, and it has already made its choice, that means that you will have to follow by the AI's choice because it is 100% correct. Meaning that you are not in control of the AI is in control of you because it has already made its prediction. Quite a bizarre thought experiment to think about. At the end of the day, thought experiments are cool concepts that really get you scratching your brain. Maybe if people want to see it, I can create a second video on thought experiments and go over all the thought experiments on the wiki page. I don't know though. All in all, peace out. See you on the flip side. Stay cool. Mic drop.